recorded. Okay. All right. So guys, I've got a little slideshow. So I'm gonna get that shared for you guys now so you can see the screen. Let me just make sure that I know how to do this. 1 second. Holy shit. Okay. Ladies, can you see this screen? Just give me a thumbs up. Okay, perfect. Lovely. Okay. So upgrading your money mind. My aim for you guys today is to bring awareness to your current state of how you think about money, what you do with money, and how you act upon money. Okay. So it's just to bring awareness. Everybody is going to be very different in how they see money, how they think about money, what they do with it. The main thing is understanding your subconscious mind, so the mind that is not active on a conscious level every single day, for you guys to then understand why you have certain patterns, certain thoughts about how you trade, or even just about money itself, okay? Because it's going to impact how you see your trade, how you protect your profits, and what you do with that. Okay, so anything that comes up today for you guys, write it down, jot down all this information, and get to know yourself. We're here to explore our mind a bit more, okay? So today we're going to go through number 1, past self or future self. So are we trading with our past self or are we trading with our future self? Number 2, common thoughts and phrases about money. Number 3, why is trading the hardest way to make the easiest money? Okay, this is a really big quote. You might have seen a lot on Twitter. I can't remember who actually wrote this because everyone's writing it now. Number 4, upgrading your relationship with money. So just tips on this one. And number 5, positive effects of change through new perspective. Okay, so through a new perspective. Right. So are you trading with yourself, with your future self, or with your past self? Let me just read this out to you guys. So majority of how we think, how we feel and behave stems from conditioned patterns from our environment. Our aim is to move into the now, so into this present moment, into today, with new habits, new thinking and new feelings, new behaviors, new actions, okay? What we want to do is get ourselves into the now so then we are able to trade with the future self. So the reason why I say future self is because our future versions of ourselves, how we see ourselves, obviously we're now thinking abundant, that we want money, that we want to provide a lot of money for our family, our kids, our new careers, or whatever it is, freedom, okay? Lots of travel, lots of shopping. And as your future self, with that in mind, you're also going to be upgraded mentally. Okay, so the way that you feel, the way that you think, the way that you move, the way that you walk, posture, everything is going to be of a higher value, a higher quality. Yeah, so in order to attract that, you have to become that now. And that is why it's important to know if you're trading with that future self or with your past self. Your past self could be someone who was worried about money, who fears, who feels like they don't, have much motivation. Maybe they've had some triggers, traumas that have caused them to not be able to push further into their careers like they wanted to. Yeah, so your future self, we're talking about that side that contains insecurities and fears and concerns, limitations, fixed mindset. Okay, and we don't want to trade with that mindset because what we want to do is put ourselves in the future right this minute. So we are trading with abundance and we're trading with a higher vibration and a higher quality of how we see ourselves, and not from our past, not from things that have been lingering that cause us to limit the way that we think. Okay, so just look at this for a minute, please. Okay, so common thoughts and phrases. These are phrases that we might say to ourselves, things that we might say to other people, what other people say to us about their own lives. See if any of these resonate with you. Okay, just go through them one by one and just see if this is something that you say to yourself on a daily basis or just now and again. Yeah, or maybe it's that you've said this before, maybe that you've had these thoughts before. Okay, I definitely had the second one. I never have enough money for myself at the end of the month. Going down, I'm always in debt. This was definitely me for many years. I spend money quickly. I've never said that, but I have been this person. I get money and I spend it quickly, and then I say I never have enough money for myself. Okay, so just I'm going to put this after in the group so then we can have a look at these and just work with them and see if they pop up in the next few days and the next few weeks as well. And the reason why I want to bring this to you is because these thoughts are massive limitations. They are full of low vibration. And with low vibration, you will not be able to trade with your future self. Okay, something like, I don't like paying my bills. This can be very detrimental to how you see trading, because even if you don't like paying bills, you actually are able to afford, with the money that you're getting now, with your income, to pay for your bills. So instead of seeing it as, I don't like paying bills, I hate paying bills, yeah, because what we want is that expense to go somewhere else, to something more fun and adventurous. But actually, we have an income, we have an amazing income, doesn't matter how much it is. But if we are at a place that we are able to get an income, or we have, then that's great, because we're able to pay something in order to go to the current lifestyle that we have. Okay, so these are very, very common. These aren't things that, I find that when we have these thoughts, that sometimes we feel we're the only ones having them, and that we don't really like to talk about it because it's confronting a side of us that we might not really like. But this is very common, and it's very normal to talk this way to, like, for example, someone may say, oh, it's so cloudy today, the weather's awful. I don't want to go into work, rather than thinking, oh my goodness, what a blessed day that I have, that I'm able to go to work, that I can function, that I'm alive. It's that comparison between the negative and the positive, the ego and the reality. Okay, so change of perspective here, guys. That's what we want to get to. Our aim is to change the perspective. Yeah, if we just go back to here, even if it's just one of these, or maybe there's others that you say to yourself that I haven't written down. Yeah, jot this down. If there's something that you say to yourself on a daily basis that you catch yourself saying, write it down, because what we want to do, we want to change that perspective. Okay, we want to put ourselves in these high vibrational thoughts and phrases, whether we say that out loud, whether we say it to ourselves. I am grateful that I can afford to pay my bills. My job gives me an income that sustains my current lifestyle to its best. Debt is just another expense. This is a big one, guys. Debt is honestly just another expense. Yeah, no matter how many times debt comes to us, or, we've got things to pay that we couldn't pay over the last few months, and now we've got arrears. All those words, they're just part of the system to scare you, okay? It's just another expense coming out, and that is all we need to remember. I am grateful I can save, so I end up with more money for me. Okay, when you get that extra income, what do we do with it? Do we go out and just spend it like crazy? I sure have done many times. Or are we going to put it away so then at the end of the month, or at the end of a few months, we've got a lot more that we can do with? Money comes and goes. This is a really big thing, especially with trading, as we know, money comes and goes. And lastly, I invite financial abundance. This is where I want you guys to be, is to open that door and invite financial abundance into your life. No matter how many times you lose in trading, no matter how many times you feel like giving up, that you doubt yourself, any thoughts that come into your mind, you're going to replace it, and you're going to say, regardless of my environment, regardless of where I am in this particular time of my life, I will invite financial abundance. End of story. Because the higher your vibration and the higher your manifestation, the easier and faster that these things will come to you. Yeah, we want to be high, above all, above everything. Okay, so this quote, trading is the hardest way to make easy money. I'm going to say it again. Trading is the hardest way to make easy money. It absolutely is. Yeah, trading is not easy. It feels like that at the start, you know, oh, I've put a trade on, it's gone into like 15p profit. Oh my God, I made 15p in a matter of milliseconds. Yeah, but then the more that you dive into trading, you start to see how challenging and complex the market is. But it's the quickest way and the easiest way to make that easy money. It really is. But why? I'm going to read this out to you. Trading is the hardest, by the way, this is my perspective, okay? This isn't written anywhere else. This is just my perspective to make you guys understand a little bit more. So why is it? Why is trading the hardest way? So it's the hardest way to make easy money because it is a mental, psychological game. And most of us have no idea of our own mental, psychological constructions. So this means we aren't aware of what actually drives us to think, feel, and act in certain ways in our own lives, causing emotions such as shock and in denial when the market confronts us with this within our losses. So what I'm saying here is that because we are subconsciously driven by our past, okay, with emotions, with behaviors, with how we think, all these insecurities and fears that really linger deep, deep in our brains. When we go into losses or when we are in the trade and it feels like it's not really going anywhere, it's kind of just stagnant, it goes into a big loss, we get shocked sometimes. Our natural reaction is to be in shock or in denial. You know, I expected my trade to go this way and it didn't. It went the complete opposite. You start getting these emotions that bring up all those feelings that were hidden subconsciously. So that's the market now confronting you with those psychological and mental constructions that we don't know are there. Yeah. So it confronts us. And that is why trading becomes very, very hard. Because what you will realize is that trading is 80% mindset and 20% skill set. I really believe it's 95% mindset and 5% skill set, because the amount of times that I could count the losses that I've had over a year is all to do with the psychological. Most of them, not all of them. Obviously, skill set's a really big deal here. We have to learn the educational side, the analysis. But if you really wanted to look back and all your losses and tick out which ones were to do with that skill set or mindset, you'll find that most of them are to do with the psychological factors. Yeah, trading exposes our weaknesses. Trading, though, provides us with a unique opportunity to learn, break habits, and self-develop. And this is a really big deal because there isn't really an industry out there that allows this for us. There really isn't. You know, I work in the massage and healing industry now for 13 years, actually 14 years coming up. And that is difficult because I had to learn about myself and confront myself and heal myself before I could heal others. Yeah, this is really important to me, that I am not someone who is bringing my own traumas into my work, because then that completely dives away from what I'm actually trying to do for clients. But the main thing is that the main thing there is that those clients are receiving a healed person, okay? Someone who is doing it from a healed perspective. Yeah. Self-developing always, always. Trading is going to do that. Trading is going to bring out such amazing challenges, but such amazing lessons for you guys to really find out who you are. Okay. Not even that healing industry has been able to do that for me. So, internal world. So building a healthier relationship with money begins and ends with self-love. Okay, the arrows are pointing inwards because we are talking about our internal world. If you guys have seen any of my videos before, I love to talk about the internal world, always about well-being, self-love, self-nurturing. You see my self-check-in lists every single day, well, most days now. It's all about the internal world. And one thing is for sure is we are not taught to nurture our internal world. We are taught to chase the external world, and then that the internal world will then grant itself what we want. It does not work like that. It really doesn't work like that. It never has, it never will. Your internal world begins and ends with self-love. In order for you to be an amazing trader and really get to grips with concentration, analysis, how you trade, assumptions, everything, you need to start with self-love. And with self-love, you have to confront those thoughts and phrases that pop into your head now again about our own personal lives, not about trading, our own personal lives. You know, do you wake up and say, oh God, such an awful day today, look at the weather? Or are you waking up and saying, I'm so grateful to be able to wake up and see my family, to be able to wake up and breathe and eat this amazing food. Yeah. Our mind has the ability to change all perspectives and navigate emotions accordingly when we learn to be in control of our mind. So living in an internal world is not being selfish. It's learning how to control your mentality. So then our external world is fueled. Yeah, that's how it works, guys. Internal world to the external world. Self-love is a tool to discover self. Yeah, self-love is a tool. It's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's an experience, but it's a tool that you use to do everything with. Trade with self-love. Take your losses with self-love. Protect your profits with self-love. Everything with self-love. If you start with self-love, you won't go back into the market and gamble. If you start with self-love, you won't over-risk the profits that you've made. If you start with self-love, you want to see the bigger perspective and learn how to do this long-term. The more energy you use to fuel the internal, the more abundance you will experience in your external world, which means your environment. Okay, I promise you guys, it might not feel like that, but that's exactly how energy works. Yeah, we see many times people chasing the external world, and they chase and chase. Let's talk about these really high class traders who have chased money through ego, through passion, through fire. Yeah, and they've got their accounts, they've got loads of accounts, they're making millions. How do you know that they're really happy inside? No one knows. No one knows, but it's been proven that most people in the highest of highest roles who are earning the most money are the least happiest, guys. And that is because they chased the external world and didn't do anything for the internal. So the internal has no fuel, has nothing, just a little bit. Okay, we don't want to be that person. Yeah, we want to live abundantly. And so you have to confront yourselves. Yeah. So just lastly here, going from everything that we've talked about today, that you've seen, I'm going to post some of these pages onto the mindset section so you guys don't forget, but I will have this recorded if you need to watch it again. But what I'd like you to do in your own space and time is, number one, observe your thinking pattern. Okay, so anytime, what you're going to do is start intending to observe patterns, behaviors, words, thoughts, phrases that you might say, do, think, experience on a day-to-day basis, and catch yourself in that moment as much as you can. So what you're doing is you're placing an intention to want something. So here we are, we want to catch ourselves in the times that we say things that are not so great to ourselves. Okay, so observe that thinking pattern and do this on a regular basis. Have a little notepad, little pen there so you can write these down. Yeah, don't have to make a big deal out of it. Just write down that negative thought that came in. And I want you to identify, for number 2, identify the potential limitations those words, that feeling, that emotion can do for your trading. I want you to find your own link between the between the negativity of what you're thinking, feeling, doing, and link it to where it could potentially be affecting you as a trader and how you think when you're making your trades. Number 3, I want you to really work hard on this one, is replace that, which one it is that you feel that you want to work on, replace it with a new habit or habits. Yeah, so if you are someone that wakes up and says, oh, what another day of terrible weather, change that. Either, say something else to yourself, how amazing it is to wake up for another day, or maybe start looking at this grey weather as beautiful. Yeah, grey is a lovely color, guys. It is really lovely color. Sometimes I have grey walls. Some of my walls are grey. Grey is a lovely color, okay? Number 4, set an intention to practice your new habits for a minimum of 21 days. So habits usually form after 21 days, okay? So you really need to put this into practice. You might want to have to write this down and then tick list all the way up to 21 days. And guess what? It takes up to 66 days for a habit to actually solidify within your subconscious. So 21 days, okay, 3 weeks, up to 66 days. That's what, two months? Just over 2 months? Just over 2 months to keep up with a habit. Test yourselves, guys, because what you're going to learn here is how to stick with a habit, even if it's putting this habit as keep the risk the same in your trading. Yeah, you're going to stick with that for 21 days, and then I will need to see you guys going all the way up to 66 if you can. There it will solidify, and you will not have to tick list this again because it will just be stored in your subconscious. You won't have to do anything. You won't even know it's there. Yeah, you'll just be a better trader. Okay, I'll put this down in the mindset section for you guys. But yeah, so it's really just about being aware of what's going on in that subconscious mind, okay? And the mind that's sleeping throughout the day that we don't actually know is aware. There's so much in there, so much. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but I've had, especially last year, where things pop up and I cry because it's like something that's been a burden inside of you for so long, and once it's released, everything changes and you don't even know how it works. It just happens. Okay, so we're upgrading, we're thinking high above level, yeah, not low vibration, high vibration, high quality, and that will naturally do the work for itself with trading. Yeah, okay, cool. Guys, thank you so much. I can't believe we've gone from 14 people to 2, but be proud of yourselves, okay? You've just learned a lot for this evening to last you for a lifetime, okay? And we'll talk in the group. If you have any questions, pop them in the members chat. I'll be there until 9 p.m. tonight, okay? Thank you, ladies. Bye, Josie. Bye, Gemma. See you guys.